Hey, good morning. Ben here with Studio on the Lake. Hey, I thought this video is going to take you back. It's going to be in two parts. It's going to be on a small wizard. Uh, the wizard was one of the first things that I carved, and I'll show you that guy as we go along here. But this one, the first part's going to be the wizard portion of it, and the second part will be hands that get inserted in those little holes there, and then a staff. And I'm thinking probably a dragon. So it starts off as usual with the basswood here that I collect and dry. There'll be a video coming pretty quick as I'm picking up 6 trees that came off of Craigslist here about an hour from the house. So in fact, later this morning I'm going to go over and collect those, and I'll shoot a little bit of video and let you see how I process that and where it ends up. This basswood's quite expensive. If you were to try to buy it, that piece I'm playing with right there probably cost you $30. If it was cut down into dimensions. This one's not. So I actually do kind of have a pattern over there for this wizard. It is the first one that I carved, like I said, and I'm throwing him that out quickly on that piece there. There, come out of the bandsaw. You can see the original wizard in the background. I'll show you him a little bit more. He's missing his staff. It broke over the years. Oh, there we go. And his staff was in his left hand, or right hand stuck out there, and left hand had a finger pointing at you with a hand. And as you can see, that was the first wood carving I ever did, and that came out of about a $30 piece of basswood, I don't know, 30 years ago. He sits in the back of the studio with good intentions to recarve the hands and the staff someday. Hey, here's something I shared with you guys in the past, working on the Arbortech. This is a DeWalt 4.5-inch right angle grinder. It's about 15 years old. I put a 30, 50 grit, 80 grit on there. Probably should put that in the vise better, but you can see I use that one-handed, or I'll use the other, and I've gotten pretty good over the years. It removes wood quickly. The only problem with this setup, as you see here in the corner of the bench, my pot-bellied stove is about 3 feet to the right there. I've got it cranked up because it's in the lower teens here in upper Wisconsin, and that dust gets stuck on the stove. You have to wipe it off. So there you go. You can see I removed the guards. I wouldn't recommend, unless you're handy with the tool, to do that. Here's that Arbortech Mini carver. There's a review of that in there. I'll use that a little bit here and show you the difference. From about 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock on this is the only exposed part of the blade. It's a carbide blade. You can see it does a nice job. It's fine as far as taking parts off. I just did a cut left to right. That's as deep as you can go with that thing. And I'm carving with the back of it there. So this does exactly what it says it does. And go back and look at my review on that thing. I still am not sold on it, although it does do what you need to do, and it's a heck of a lot safer than that DeWalt sitting in the background. There's the pattern, sort of, that it's coming from. And once I get it, I block the shape out of the basswood, as you can see. Then I'm going to go over and switch to power carvers. If you're new to the channel, you can see that handpiece is probably 25 years old. It was refurbed a year or two ago over in Minnesota. PJL, I think it is, Enterprises. He's kind of a little known. He makes the Ultima combo carver, which has the micro handpiece. This one's a 30,000, and then on the other side it has a wood burning setup. I've used that pretty exclusively throughout my carving. I kind of threw the eyes shade in there. You can see a lot of people, it's the same process for carving a wood spirit, or an old man wood spirit. Just kind of blocking it out. If you're an art type, you took some art, they'll tell you that faces are basically designed in threes. So the eyes are about a third down, the mouth is about a third down, right in the middle there. And I set in the eyes, kind of the cheekbone lines. I'm leaving spots in the center there for the mustache to come down, and a lot of wood in the deal. I'm coming back in, reliefing out the contours on the face here. I have a worn out diamond bit there, and then I came back with the burner as I normally do, so because I'm too lazy to make stop cuts, and just kind of defining where I want things to come out. Going to be the same setup. His hands are going to come out on the corner there. To be honest with you, I wasn't real happy with the cowl on the head, but I think it's going to work out all right. I would have left a little bit more of a hood over the face of him. Here I'm kind of defining where the beard will come down, and you saw I did actually use a knife instead of the wood burner for a cut. The end of these are going to be left open, as you saw in the middle, with a hole drilled in it, and that allows the hand to sit back in. Two reasons for attaching the hand separately. One, if I stick them out there, the grain is vertical on that, and all you got to do is tap it up or down, and they'll break right off, as you saw with the original one. I've decided it doesn't need a base because he's not tall enough, and I didn't spend enough time in the design phase. Here's further refining, and you just keep on going down and taking the square shapes away and rounding them out. This is a little small ball joint, or ball. You can see kind of where I probably should have left a little more of the cowl sticking on him, but he's being done for you guys, particularly just to give you an idea how this stuff's done. I did decide to break this into two, so it's not 40 minutes long, because ironically it takes just as long to carve the staff. I think I'm going to put a dragon or an eagle on there also, and the hands. It takes as long to carve those as it does to carve this character here. This has been speeded up 4 times, and I use that tool just like a pencil. You'll see a blue one come into effect there. I bought a whole new Ultima rig there. That one came with a blue handpiece, upgraded 20 years later, 25 years later. And it supposedly goes to 40,000. I like it. I run 2 pens sitting up on the back side. If you go back and look at the video with my setup, my carving station, my chair, and here I'm outlining. A lot of this will go away. I'll carve most of the black lines away, and then I may or may not put some stain and whatnot in there. Here I'm just kind of defining where I want everything out, and I got a little bit carried away and decided to put in some of the flow lines on the beard there. If you use a wood burning pen or the stones on the microcarver, you can get realistic looking hair and feathers fairly easily. Your alternative to that is a knife or a V-gouge. Once I get the majority of this all set out, you can see I can start to undercut the hands and the sleeves and that sort of stuff, and get the robe flowing down. There'll be a lot of work on the robe that I won't show you to get it to flow around his legs as if the wind were blowing. So there's that part right there. That's going to be the end of part 1. Part 2, I will do the hands and the staff. I cut it out with the bandsaw. Again, it's basswood. Left a ball on the end there, He'll kind of go in probably that hand there, I imagine. I'll carve the hand to go around it. Here I'm putting some swirls going up through that, and kind of a jewel setting on the top for that globe. So go ahead and subscribe to see the part 2. Check out the rest of the videos. Like, subscribe as always, and comment. Hey, thanks. It's been with Ben with Studio on the Lake. Have a good day.